Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gerard Arderius. I'm a graphic designer, and today I'm here to show you the story of my end-of-degree project. It started in a bad way, like it happened with the majority of projects, I think, with the typical anguish of not knowing what to do. One morning, I decided to come up with a definitive idea. I took my pen, my notebook, and my iPod with randomly music. I was rejecting ideas, songs were playing, and suddenly, one of Eugenio's jokes is played, and like they always do, makes me smile.
¿Saben aquel que dice un tío que va a una perfumería de oiga, digo, querría un champú? Digo, ¿qué lo quiere, para cabellos secos o para cabellos grasos? Digo, no, ¿lo tiene para cabellos sucios?
Yeah. This mysterious man that more than a humorist looks like he just come out of a funeral is Eugenio. Explaining one of his jokes with this broad and slowly voice. And for the ones who didn't get it, because of his mixed Catalan-Spanish language, he just said, so this is a guy who walks into a drugstore and says, I would like a shampoo. The salesman says, do you want it for dry or greasy hair? And the guy says, don't you have it for dirty hair? This is the humor of Eugenio, simple, with a minimum of resources. It is what you see, nothing else. One of his peculiarities was the staging. Black suit, smoking cigarette, and a sip of whiskey always by his side. Eugenio was a Catalan humorist, becoming an icon of the 80s and 90s in Catalonia and Spain. In fact, he did more shows than the most famous singers of the time, and sold more than 350,000 copies of cassettes about his jokes. I started to do a research on the character, the tributes already given to him, and the majority of them are imitations and imitations and imitations. And this is the way I realized I can also imitate Eugenio, but not on the stage explaining jokes, but using my own tools as a graphic designer. Going back to the cassettes one more time. Anyone who knows Eugenio knows his cassettes, and those becoming an important part of his own have an interesting particularity. Contains the live audio of his live shows. There are the dialogues, rhythms, pauses, and loves of the people. And we can say that these 4 points are the basic structure of his humor. What I start doing is transcribing a whole cassette, just as he explained his jokes, with the minimum resources. And here I include the cassette's timing, a detail that suddenly creates a direct link with the cassette. Therefore, here we have what Eugenio said from the minute 8:06 to 8:14. We turn page, and we find with one of his long pauses, from the 8:14 to 8:18, blank page. We turn page, and we find, and people load from the 8:18 to 8:32, red page. Using this system, I created this collector piece that we could define as an object book. We could define as an object book a transcription and reinterpretation of the cassette that contains an infographic synthesis of his humor. And like a cassette, when side A is over, it must be turned to continue reading the side B. Here we have the same elements like as the cassette. As we can see, the legal text, the list of jokes, etc. And we can play with it. We can start reading from the beginning or from the middle, as we want. Apart of this, I create a pack that also contains a series of posters about some of his best jokes. In the central part, we have the synthesis of the joke, and in the bottom, there is the transcribed joke, just as he told with the same words. If there is anyone who knows the joke titled El Búho, can recognize it only reading the central synthesis.
Beep, 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 sorry, 5 minutes.
Yeah?
I'm so sorry.
If you want to know something more about these projects, you can visit my Behance.